Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing extremely amazing. Welcome back to another lecture of corporate and economic laws. So people, in our last lecture we had begun with this chapter called as corporate governance, which is going to come for how many marks? 7 to 10 marks in your exam. Okay, so people, in last lecture we had finished with 3 subchapters. Number 1 is corporate governance, concept and issues, pure theory subchapter. Number 2 is corporate governance, practices and codes in India also we are done, which is completely practical aspect. And number 3 is people family business. So among 5 subchapters we had already done with 3 subchapters. Okay, so remaining 2 subchapters are there. You don't have to worry. Why? Because 3.5 is a very small subchapter, that is sustainability management. Now sir, what about 3.4? People, if you ask me, 3.4 is that subchapter which is, in my opinion, is the most important subchapter for your CMA final law exam. Okay, the reason is, people, this subchapter talks about the completely practical aspect of Companies Act CSR expenditure. Okay, we are going to understand how is CSR amount calculated, where all we can spend our CSR expenditure. Number 3, before we spend, what all things we have to consider. After we spend, what all things we have to consider. After that, how do we find out the impact that we created in the society. Also, we're going to understand how are we going to calculate, how are we going to identify the impact assessment. So this is the most important subchapter of corporate governance if you ask me. Okay. So without wasting any time, people, let's get started with 3.4, and that is corporate social responsibility, nature of activities, evaluation of CSR projects. Okay, chalo. So people, in this subchapter, how many topics that we are going to cover? People, number 1, we are going to talk about sustainability reporting. Again and again, you will find this topic repeated in your subchapter. Okay, quickly we'll cover this. Number 2, people, is I think is very interesting and the most important even for your career point of view, and the topic is responsible business conduct. 9 principles of responsible business conduct. If you call yourself a company which is very responsible, what all aspects you have to consider before you call yourself a responsible company. Okay, then people are going to understand how is this sustainability reporting is going to be implemented. There is a form called as business responsibility sustainability report. Okay, people. So BRSR report that we call. Over there, a business has to disclose all the aspects that we spoke about. Okay. So how are we going to implement this BRSR reporting? Also, we are going to understand. And then people, who is responsible to disclose this details? And then people are going to talk about corporate social responsibility, to which company it is mandatory, to which company it is not applicable. And then people, we are going to understand how is the amount towards CSR expenditure calculated. And then people are going to understand what are the activities that are covered under CSR, what are the activities that are not covered under CSR. Then people are going to understand how do we implement, how would a company which is completely focused on its business, how can that company how can a company take some time, or is it really important for a company to take some time off, or it can be implemented through an implementing agency. Also, we're going to understand for CSR projects. Then people are going to understand, can a company collaborate with other companies to implement its CSR projects? Then people, implementing agencies, what are the implementing agencies for CSR projects? And then people are going to understand pre-evaluation of CSR project, post-evaluation of CSR project, and last is impact assessment. People, even though you might find that there are a lot of topics in this subchapter, but people, trust me, every single topic is either very short or either it is very easy. Okay, people. Chalo. Without wasting any time, people, let's get started. So, first topic is, people, sustainability reporting. What is sustainability reporting? People, it means companies openly share how their actions affect the society, how its actions affect the environment, and how they are governed. It's all about being honest, responsible and transparent in the way business is run. Okay. Now people, if you see Infosys, we all have heard this company called as Infosys. Infosys in its BRSR report, we are going to understand what is BRSR report. In its BRSR report, Infosys clearly discloses how much energy it saves. Number 2, how much carbon footprint, how much CO2 it releases. And number 3 is what is Infosys doing for the well-being of their employees. So all these are responsible business conduct. Yes or no, people? So if you want to understand that if a company is really responsible, if a company is really focusing on more than the profit point of view, you have to read their BRSR report. Okay. So SEBI has replaced the old annual business ABRR with the new, that is Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report, to ensure detailed ESG disclosures. ESG disclosures, we know what is the meaning of ESG in our last lecture. Okay. Chalo. Now people, the important question is, to which companies BRSR report is mandated? To top 1000 listed companies by market cap, BRSR is mandatory. Since when? Since 2022 to 2023. Okay. Now sir, how do we disclose this BRSR report? People, it is based on 9 principles. Okay. So 9 principles, you have to bifurcate whatever you are disclosing based on 9 principles. Okay. So people, 9 principles will include aspects like employee welfare, environment, consumer protection and all other aspects. We are going to understand the 9 principles also in detail. Okay people. It is based on national guidelines on responsible business conduct covering ethics, environment, employee welfare, other aspects. Okay. Sir, what is the structure of the report? People, structure is very, very simple. It includes every principle. There are 9 principles in total. So every principle. So there is a report. Again, I will tell you. There is a report called as BRSR report. What is the purpose? So that business should look like a responsible business. Yes or no? Honest, responsible and transparent. Okay. So to prove that a business is transparent, responsible and honest, it has to disclose a report called as BRSR report. Sir, what is the applicability of the report? For the top 1000 listed companies, BRSR report is mandatory. Since when? Since 2022 to 2023. Sir, how do we classify this information? This information is classified based on 9 principles. Okay. Sir, how do we structure the report? We're going to understand. So 9 principles. Every principle has got 3 parts. Number 1 is statement. Number 2 is brief explanation. Number 3 is core elements. Okay, we're going to look at it. Number 1 is people's statement. What is a statement? Before that, we're going to understand what is this principle all about. Principle is people, employee well-being is the principle. A company like Infosys may include 3 aspects: statement, brief explanation, and number 3 is core elements. So statement is people, we focus on commitment to employee growth and safety. Okay, this is the statement. Now, what is the explanation to the statement? Focus on training of the employees, focus on including all types of employees, men, women, even transgenders. They don't discriminate on the basis of caste, creed, religion, XYZ. And then people, safe work environment. This is the explanation. But now for that, what is the company actually doing? Number of training hours provided to the employees so that they can grow. Then safety incidents. What is the company doing for the safety of the employees? Then diversity ratio. How many are men? How many are women? And then employee satisfaction scores. Now people, one question might come into your mind. Sir, why is this report is important? Because people, today ESG is now on a very, very growing stage, right? So now investors, more than profit point of view, they want to understand what is the value actually they are contributing to the society. Yes or no? And for that purpose, people, this BRSR report is made to focus on ESG, environmental, social and governance. Okay. So we understood what is the format, that is BRSR report. Number 2 is applicability, we understood. Number 3 is framework, 9 principles. And number 4 is structure, also we understood. And then people, BRSR core. What is the meaning of BRSR core, people? So people, if a company is preparing its BRSR report, now the important question is, what is the guarantee that the company is actually telling the truth? Yes or no? So for that, company can hire external auditor. Company has to hire an external auditor to make sure that whatever reporting they are doing, it is actually true. Yes or no? And then people, that is called as independent third party assurance. And number 2 is one more thing, value chain disclosure, which means what? Supposing if we talk about Tesla, okay. So Tesla, Panasonic provides batteries to Tesla. Yes or no? So Panasonic is the supplier of Tesla. So Tesla has to report Tesla has to report their ESG parameter also. But at the same time, they also have to disclose their suppliers' ESG parameters. Example is Maruti Suzuki collects information from the suppliers to ensure that suppliers and whoever are included in the value chain, supplier, distributors, all of them are completely aligned with the ESG parameters. Everyone is responsible. People imagine a world where every single company is following these 9 principles. I'm going to tell you what are the 9 principles. The world would be a very different world. It's going to be a beautiful world if all the companies follow these 9 principles. So the starting is BRSR reporting. Okay. People's logic is simple. If investors think that this company is heavily polluting the rivers, this company is very, how do we say? There is a concept called as very dominant towards women. The company is very unethical. Do you think investors would invest in that company? No. That company will lose money eventually. So for that purpose, for survival, company has to follow all the ESG parameters. And how are they going to follow? How will the investors know? By just simply reading their BRSR report. Very easy, people. Purpose is again helping investors assess, to understand, to just make a conclusion that is the company actually creating value or simply they are behind profits only. Now, who is responsible to make sure company is disclosing their BRSR report? The top level management. Very easy, people. Quickly, let's revise. So number 1 is, people, what is the format? BRSR report format. Number 2 is applicability 1000 top listed companies. Number 3 is it focuses on 9 principles of NGRBC. What is the full form of NGRBC? National Guidelines on Responsible Business Conduct. And then, people, what is the structure? It is divided into 3 parts. Every principle is divided into 3 parts. Number 1 is statement, number 2 is brief explanation, and number 3 is the core element. Okay. Next, people, we understood introduced to focus on key ESG metrics. That means what? 2 things has to be done. Number 1 is appointing an external auditor to make sure company is actually telling the truth. And number 2 is value chain disclosures. Company has to report their suppliers as well as their distributors ESG parameters, whether they are following or not. And then, people, purpose is accountability, transparency and sustainability. Company should survive in a long term. Okay. And the last is who is responsible? Board of directors are responsible. Very easy, people. So, first topic is over. Sustainability reporting. People, it is my gut feeling that this question will be definitely asked in your CMA final law exam. Very easy, people. I have bifurcated this into very crisp, clear points. Yellow highlighted portion is all the examples so that you will be able to easily visualize the concept. Yes or no, people? Simply you have to read this and that's it. Easy 7 marks, people. Easy 7 marks. Okay. Now next, people. Now these 9 NGRBC principles. What are these 9 NGRBC principles? Let's understand now. Very interesting. So these are the 9 NGRBC principles. Number 1 is, people, integrity, ethics and accountability. Company cannot advertise their product saying that it is 100% genuine. They cannot do fake. They cannot do false advertising. Number 1 is integrity, ethics and accountability. Number 2 is, people, sustainable and safe products and services. Let's look at the example. A mobile phone company using recyclable materials and safe battery disposal systems to avoid environmental harm. So this focuses on environment, and number 1 focuses on integrity. So integrity, environment. Number 3 is, people, employee well-being and fair treatment. Are you paying fair wages to your employees? Are you giving a safe working conditions to your employees? Number 3. So for every principle, they have to disclose their details in 3 parts. Okay. Next people, stakeholder responsibility. A chemical factory that is investing in wastewater treatment plant to protect local rivers from getting polluted. So you also have to focus on the environment, community. So all the stakeholders. What is the meaning of stakeholders, people? Those who are getting affected by your activities, they are called as stakeholders. That can include shareholders, customers, suppliers, everyone who are going to impact directly or indirectly by your methods. Yes or no, people? And then is respect for human rights. A company shall ensure that no child labor was used in their factories or supply chains. Next is environmental protection and restoration. What are you doing to restore the environment? For example, a construction company is using eco-friendly materials and avoiding harm to the forest and wetlands. Okay. So environmental protection, restoration. Next is people, responsible advocacy in public policy. If a company is into renewable energy, it has to continuously reiterate, it has to continually urge everyone to shift towards renewable energy. Example, a renewable energy company advocating for policies that promote solar power instead of supporting polluting industries. So if you are into renewable energy, you should never support polluting industry. You should always encourage renewable energy sectors. Yes or no, people? And last is inclusive growth and equitable development. It should not be a case where you are completely a male chauvinist, you are only hiring men. It is not allowed. You should also hire as many people as possible from diverse backgrounds. Example is people, a telecom company offering free digital literacy training in rural areas to reduce digital divide. What is the meaning of this, people? Let's take an example of Jio. Jio launched 4G services, free 4G services. Because of that, women who were living in villages, people who couldn't afford education, people who thought that their entire life they're going to do some mediocre work, because of them being educated, they got education. After that, they also got employment. They came in towns and cities. Yes or no? Now, how is this possible? Because of Jio's free 4G services, they just reduced the digital divide. What is the meaning of digital divide? There is a vast difference between who has got access to digital services, who does not have access to digital services. Okay. Next is consumer welfare and responsible business practices. A food company labeling nutritional information on packaging and not misleading customers with false healthy claims on sugary products. If you are selling sugar, how can you claim that your product is a very healthy product? No, you cannot do this with the customers. So 9 principles. Number 1 is integrity. Whatever you are, you have to conduct yourself in the right manner even when nobody is watching you. Number 2 is you should use safe products and services. Third is employee well-being. Fourth is all the stakeholders you have to include. Next is you have to respect the rights of humans. And sixth is you have to work towards environmental protection and restoration. Next, people, responsible advocacy in public policy. You should always, well, 1 second. Yes, you should always favor things that is going to help the society in the long term. And last is people, consumer welfare and responsible business practices. So all these 9 principles, you have to disclose every single thing in 3 parts. What are the 3 parts, people? Tell me quickly. Statement, number 1. Number 2 is brief explanation. Number 3 is core elements. What are you actually doing to achieve those principles? Very easy, people. If you look at any top listed companies BRSA report, you will find all these 9 principles. How these companies are actually working towards achieving these 9 principles, you will get to know every single thing. The moment you realize that this company is your favorite company, but this company is using child labor to make their products and services, would you even purchase their product, people? No, absolutely. That means that company will lose its customer, that company will lose its investors if they are not following these 9 principles. Very easy, people. Next is people, implementing and reporting responsibility. Who is responsible? Who is responsible for implementing this. We all know, people. So, implementation and responsible reporting. That means what? If a company is not sure how to disclose the BRSR report, how to disclose details, how do we find details, how do we collect details, for that also an instruction kit is made, and that is called as Annexure 1, that talks about guidance for businesses. So they provide step-by-step guidance to implement the principles as to how can they apply all the 9 principles. Yes or no? And next is they also offer industry-specific tip to assess the impact on the stakeholders. Yes or no, people? So 2 things. And number two is social sensitivity. What is the meaning of social sensitivity? Which means what? You are very, very sensitive towards social development. You are working towards social development. You are trying to include as many people from diverse backgrounds as possible. No matter if they are men, no matter if they are women, no matter if they are of different class, different caste, different religion, doesn't matter at all. Your job as a responsible ethical company is to employ as many people from diverse backgrounds as possible so that everyone will grow in the society. Okay. So, third is also done, implementing and responsible reporting. And next is, people, accountability. Now, who is actually responsible to make sure that BRSR report is actually getting reported? The BOD and the top level management. Now, how should this BRSR reporting should be looked? Okay, let's understand. It should be used as a strategy tool to promote responsible growth and create long-term value. You should not just look at it like a compliance point of view. You should look at it as a how as a company we are creating value in society. If you want to know, you have to disclose all the details in the BRSR report. Then only you will come to know that are you really ethical? Are you really responsible? Are you really sensitive towards social development or not? Yes or no, people? So, implementing and responsible reporting, we understood. Annexure 1 is a guidance as to step by step how can you apply those 9 principles. Next, they also provide industry specific tips. And then, people, social sensitivity. Also, we are done. And then, people, governance, accountability. Who is responsible? The top level management are responsible, number 1. And we should not just look at it as a compliance point of view. We should look at it as a strategic point of view as to convincing the stakeholder that we are creating long-term value in the society. Yes or no, people? Perfect. So we are done with the sustainability reporting. Very easy, people. Extremely easy. If you understand this using examples, every single thing that you are going to learn from my notes are going to be easy cakewalk for all of you guys. Okay. Chalo. Now let's proceed with the next topic, that is CSR. People, in a company's that under accounts and audit, you have this topic CSR in detail. Still, again, we are going to cover this. Okay, people? Chalo, people. Let's start. CSR. Now, you tell me, people, what is the section of CSR? Section 135 of the Companies Act talks about CSR. To which company CSR mandatory, people? Number 1 is CSR is mandatory for the following companies. Which are these following companies, people? Tell me quickly. Where is the topic? Where is the topic? Company. If a company meets any one of the following criteria, means out of 3 conditions, if any one of the condition company meets the threshold, it has to comply with the CSR. So, what are these 3 thresholds? Number 1 is, people, in the preceding financial year, the company has crossed the net worth of more than 500 CR, or the turnover company has crossed more than 1000 CR. And number 3 is net profit company, if it crosses 5 CR, company has to comply with the CSR provisions. You're going to understand what are CSR provisions. So quickly tell me, people, what are the thresholds? Number 1 is net worth should be more than or equal to 500 CR in the preceding financial year. Number 1, turnover should be more than or equal to 1000 crores. And number 3 is net profit should be more than or equal to 5 crores in the preceding financial year. If you meet any of the following conditions, CSR provisions will be mandatory. Very easy, people. Now, what are the requirements? Now that I know that CSR provisions are applicable to me, now what? I have to spend 2% of the average net profit of the last 3 financial year on CSR activities. That means what? Last 3 years financial year net profits I have to calculate. of average I have to calculate of 2% is my CSR expenditure that I have to incur. Yes or no, people? Supposing if 2024, 2023, 2022, 10 crores, 20 crores, 30 crores. What is the average, people? 10 plus 20 plus 30 upon 3. 10 plus 20 is 30 upon 30 plus 30 is 60 upon 3. So 20 CRs, 2%. What is 20 CRs, 2%, people? Sorry, people, I have to use the calculator to make sure that I don't waste time in calculation. Into 2%. So company has to spend 0.4 crores, 0.4 crores towards CSR expenditure. Yes or no, people? Very easy. Now that I have to spend my CSR, in which activities, what should be my focus area that I have to incur my this 0.4 crores? That means 40 lakhs. This 40 lakhs, where should I actually incur, people? I should focus on promoting social development of the society, economic development of the society, or environmental development of the society. Yes or no, people? So 3 focus areas. Number 1 is social, economical, and environment. Okay. Now next, alignment. CSR efforts must align. That means what? Whatever expenditure I am incurring, those activities should align with the national development goals. For example, Swachh Bharat. For example, Digital India. For example, Skill India, to promote entrepreneurship and public priorities. Okay. So what is the actual need in the society? For that purpose only I have to incur my CSR expenditure. So people, quickly tell me, to which company CSR expenditure is mandatory? Number 1, company which has incurred the following threshold in the last preceding financial year. Number 1 is net worth is more than equal to 500 CR, turnover is more than equal to 1000 CR, net profit is more than equal to 5 CR. So what is my requirement? 2% of the average net profit of the last 3 preceding financial year. Sir, what should be a focus area? Social, economic, and environmental. That should align with the national development goals like Skill India, Digital India, or Swachh Bharat. Very easy, people. Chalo. So we are done with this topic also. Now we are going to understand which activities, or whenever we are spending CSR amount, when would that activity will be actually called as CSR. People, before that I will tell you a small short story. Okay, this Reliance Jio had launched free 4G services. Yes or no? So that it's a strategy to wipe out the competitor. It was purely for the business point of view. Yes or no? So they had incurred 1500 crores, 2000 crores towards free 4G services. Now, would it be right that Reliance can claim these expenditure as CSR expenditure even though that was purely from business point of view? The answer is no, because it was purely for business point of view. It was not for purely CSR point of view. But the problem is this is a very, very gray area, people. It's a very gray area. Proceedings are still pending in the court with respect to can this expenditure be called as a CSR expenditure or not. But Reliance is claiming that what should be the purpose of CSR? My activities should develop economic, social, and environmental aspects of society. But because of my free 4G services, women who didn't get education, they are now getting education, they are getting employed. So everyone is growing. And what is the harm in claiming it as CSR expenditure? So it's still a gray area, people. It's pending. So for that purpose, we need to find out, we need to understand which activities, which expenditures can be called as a CSR expenditure. Okay. CSR activities address key social issues like social, economic, environmental. We all know. Some of the key areas include health and nutrition, sanitation, education and skill development, inclusive growth and empowerment, backward region development. People have also given you the example. Just read the example. In case you are not able to visualize anything, okay, I will just give you two demo. For example, if I am talking about sanitation, if a company is spending that CSI expenditure on building toilets, waste management programs, and sanitation awareness, it will be eligible to claim it as CSR expenditure. Or let's say education and skill development, I am providing scholarship, I am building, constructing schools, I am providing vocational training, I am providing IT courses, tailoring, digital literacy program. These all things will be again can be included under CSR expenditure. Then people, inclusive growth and empowerment, supporting marginalized communities like tribal groups, training for employment, empowering women or the disabled. So all these ignored people in society who really need help, if we are helping them, it can also be called as a CSR expenditure. Yes or no, people? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quickly tell me, what are the focus area? Health and nutrition, sanitation, education and skill development, inclusive growth and empowerment, and last is backward region development. Yes or no, people? So, people in your CMA final law exam, question can be asked, what all activities can be considered as part of CSR expenditure? What all activities cannot be considered as part of CSR expenditure? What all activities are considered as part of CSR expenditure? We know the answer. Okay, you have to simply write down the answer along with the examples. Okay, people, I have taught you how to write answers. You have to include examples. Cool, people. Now, after that comes what all activities can never be called as a CSR expenditure. Let's find out. So, if you want to incur 2% of your average net profit, 40 lakhs in your CS expenditure, if you incur that 40 lakhs towards these activities or similar in nature, you cannot call it as CSR expenditure. You have to again incur this for CSR expenditure. Let's understand what are the activities that can never be called as a CSR expenditure. Number 1 is, people, publicity activities focused on advertising products and services. I am organizing free health camp, but I am branding it with the company's logo for advertising, which means what? Is it purely unconditional, people? The first question you need to ask is, was my CSR expenditure unconditional? Am I expecting anything in return? If the answer is yes, that can never be called as a CSR expenditure. The answer is no, that may be called as a CSR expenditure. Now, if I'm organizing free health camps, no problem, that can be called as a CSR expenditure. But what you are doing, you are displaying your company's logo so that customers you will gain. Yes or no? That means what? You are growing business wise. You cannot be called as a CSR expenditure because this cannot be called as an unconditional contribution towards society. Yes or no? So, company should not, CSR should not be used for company's promotion. Number 1 point. Next is, people, compliance with regulations and government orders. So, people, your company is polluting the rivers very, very badly. So, for that purpose, to control the pollution, you are just installing a machinery so that you can stop the pollution. You are fitting one machinery, anti-polluting machinery type, so that you can pollute less in the rivers. Can you call this as CSR expenditure? No. Why? Because you are actually bound to do it. You are legally bound to it. You are not doing some obligation towards someone. No. Legal obligations cannot be called as CSR. Installing pollution control equipment, because it's a legal requirement, it cannot be called as a CSR expenditure. You are bound to do it. Okay, people. Next is employee benefits, direct or indirect. Providing free health insurance or bonuses for employees and their families. Again, this cannot be called as a CSR expenditure. Sir, but this is employee well-being. Why can't this be called as CSR expenditure? The problem is, this is only for the employees. That is the problem. So, activities that benefit only employees or their families can never be considered as CSR expenditure. Okay, next is infrastructure development for business operation. So what you are doing, just look at it. You are building roads or setting up street lights for the company's logistics, not benefiting the community. You are not doing any favor to society. You are doing the favor to your company, to your company's benefit. That means again, whatever you are doing is not unconditional. Yes or no, people? So activities directly supporting business operations can never be called as a CSR expenditure. Every single thing should be unconditional. You should not expect anything in return. Yes or no? And last is political contribution or donation can also be never be called as CSR expenditure. Donating funds to political parties or for election related purposes, you can never call this as CSR expenditure. So, but this is for the society well-being? No, no. Is the society growing economically, environmental wise or social wise? No, because by giving money to political parties, how do you think you are growing the society? No, right? So donations or contributions to political parties or election campaigns are completely excluded. So people, if a question is asked in your exam, what all expenditures are excluded from CSR activities, you have to mention publicity activities focused on advertising their product or services, number 1. Number 2 is you are complying with the rules and regulations that you are bound to do. You cannot call it a CSR expenditure. And number 3 is employee benefits. You can never call it a CSR expenditure. The reason is only employees are getting benefit. Number 4 is people, infrastructure development for business operation. You can never call it as CSR expenditure. And last is political contributions or donation. You can never call it as CSR expenditure, people. Very easy. Okay, so people, we are done with how many points? One second. I will highlight it nicely. This is done. This is done. This is done. Accountability is done. CSR, mandatory requirement, activities considered as CSR, activities not considered as CSR also. We are done, people. Now people are going to understand. Now that I want to incur 40 lakhs as CSR expenditure. Now, how do I incur these expenditure? Let's understand. Is there any implementing agency in the process? Let's understand. Can we take anyone's help or not? So, how do we implement CSR implementation? Number 1 is people, you have to determine that in which area you want to add value. Is it education? Is it health? Is it sanitation? You have to decide. Let's say I want to focus on healthcare. Now, problems, people, if you are into healthcare business, now you know your industry very well. You know which people, which category of people actually require your services, and you know, being in the healthcare sector, you know how to add value. Yes or no? Being in a healthcare sector, can you add education? Can you add value to the education sector? No, because you don't have knowledge in education. You have knowledge about healthcare, being into pharmaceutical company. So you should focus on your pharmaceutical only. You should focus on healthcare only. Being the reason is because you are in that healthcare business. A pharmaceutical company focuses on healthcare initiatives rather than education. So select a focus area from the broad CSR activity list based on company's expertise and resources. Right, people? So if you want to incur 40 lakh, if you know your industry very well, so you are obviously you are going to make sure that 40 lakh are incurred properly in a wise manner because you know your industry very well. Yes or no, people? So if you are into healthcare, you should give priority towards healthcare only. Okay, people? Okay, now that I have decided that I want to focus on education. Now what? Healthcare. Now you have to identify the project. If I want to incur expenditure on education, I want to find out whether to build a school, whether to provide books, whether to provide meals to my students, or to provide scholarship, or for unprivileged students. Yes or no? So there are a lot of things that you can do even in education. So you have to decide which project you want to identify. Number 1 is you have to identify the thrust area. Thrust area as per is identified. Number 2, you have to identify the project. Okay. Number 3, Now you will evaluate the CSR project. You will assess if the project aligns with these CSR objectives and the potential impact on the community. Example, let's see. Evaluate if the chosen education project will effectively benefit the targeted community or not. So first aspect is thrust area you identified. Number two, among those thrust areas, in that thrust area, there are a lot of activities. So you have identified that activity also. Now you have to ask yourself, would incurring CSR expenditure in that project will actually benefit the community members or not? You have to identify. Yes or no, people? Then when you have identified that project, you are going to implement it. Carry out. A company may partner with an NGO to implement its education projects in rural areas. So company can either directly implement or indirectly they can take help of an implement agency like NGO or trust. People, one second, I will just see why is this happening. Perfect. It's working. So people, now you're going to carry out the CSR activities directly by yourself, or you can engage NGOs or government initiatives or partnership. You're going to understand how can you carry out CSR activities indirectly. A company may partner with an NGO. Next is people, you are going to monitor whether the activities are carried out as per your planned objectives or not. You are going to track the project progress and ensure funds are being used efficiently. It should not be a case that middlemen are only taking away all the money. So you have to make regular site visits, you have to do audits, you have to collect feedback from the beneficiaries to track the project success. You're going to ask the children, if I decided that I'm going to provide free meals to my students, I'm going to ask them that, are you liking the food or not? Is your weight getting increased or not? I'm going to ask them, what do they use, people, if I'm giving them very, very bad food? Is there any impact created? No, absolutely not. And then people, I'm going to do impact assessment, which means what? My focus was that I want to provide free meals to my students. I'm going to check their weight after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, that because of this, because of my free meals, are they improving health wise or not? That is called as impact. Am I really creating impact or not? So, how many steps are there, people? 1, 2, people, once again. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yes. So number one is where I'm going to determine the thrust area, which aspect I want to contribute. Now that I have identified the aspect, I'm going to choose number of projects in those aspect. Then people, I'm going to identify the CSR evaluation project. Am I really going to create value or not? Number 3, I'm going to ask myself. And number 4, once I have confirmed that I'm going to create value, I'm going to implement the CSR either directly or through indirectly. And then I'm going to do a regular check. After that, I'm going to do a impact assessment. That's it, people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 steps. Quickly tell me, people, this question can be asked in your exam. What are the steps in the CSR implementation process? Number 1 is you have to determine the trust area. Number 2 is you have to identify the project. Number 3 is you are going to evaluate the CSR project. Number 4 is you are going to implement the CSR project. Number 5 is you are going to monitor, and number 6 is you are going to impact assessment, you are going to find out. Very easy. Did you really create an impact in the society or not? You are going to find out. That's it, people. Very easy. So, how to implement CSR project is also done. Now, people are going to understand, if a company is supposed to incur CSR expenditure, is it supposed to do alone or can they collaborate with other companies? Let's understand. So, there are three types of collaboration. Yes, you can collaborate. There are three types of collaboration. Number one is collaboration with other companies. Number two is public-private partnership with the government. And number three is you can collaborate with the specialized agencies like NGO and trust. Let's understand this in detail. Collaboration with other companies. So, multiple companies in an industrial area fund the development of a vocational training center for underprivileged youth. 3 or 4 companies which are very, very close to each other, they can agree among themselves that let's contribute, let's pool our finances and let's contribute towards CSR and create a bigger cause, bigger impact. Okay. So over here, companies team up to pool resources and execute large scale CSR project, which wouldn't be possible if a company is alone incurring CSR expenditure. Number two is people public-private partnership, which means what? Partnering with the Swachh Bharat mission to build and maintain toilets in the rural areas. You can also donate to the government, and it will be also called as private-public partnership. So collaboration between companies, government bodies and NGOs for effective execution of welfare projects. And number three is collaboration with specialized agencies. You can collaborate with, example, let's see. A healthcare company funds an NGO which is specializing in malnutrition treatment programs to execute its CSR project. So, you can also work with expert agencies to implement CSR initiatives in specific areas. So, there are three ways in which you can implement CSR projects. Number one is you can contribute along with the other companies. Number one, you can collaborate with other companies. Number two, you can collaborate with the government. Number three, you can collaborate with the specialized agencies. Very simple, people. So, can we collaborate with CSR project is also done. Now, people, implementation agencies for CSR projects. Now that we have decided that we are going to implement using specialized agencies. Now, what are these? Who are these specialized agencies? Let's understand. So, number one is people, community-based organization. I will give you an example. Local groups organizing cleanup drives, health camps or education initiatives in rural areas. So these are formal or informal groups, people. Formal or informal groups working at the grassroots level, often with deep local connection. So very, very informal way of incurring CSR expenditure is community-based organizations. Very easy. And number two is people, elected local bodies. But over here, you can work with panchayats and municipal corporations. Example, I will tell you, a municipality working with a company to provide sanitation and clean water facilities in a local area. You can also collaborate with them. So number one is CBOs, community-based organizations, and number two is elected local bodies. Number three is people, voluntary agencies like NGOs. Number four is academic institution, a university collaborating on skill development programs for rural youth. For example, IIT Bombay going in villages to teach to the villagers as to how to use the technology. That will also be categorized under CSR, people. Next is trust and missions. So, what is the meaning of this? Schools, colleges and research institutes that can help in training, that can help in education, that can also help in skill development. So, a university collaborating on skill development programs for rural youth. This can also be categorized under CSR, people. And then people, trust and people, one second. This is done. Okay. Trust and mission is a trust funding education scholarship for underprivileged children. This is trust. And then people comes self-help groups. These are groups that empower women, empower farmers and rural entrepreneurs through mutual support and financial independence. So a women's self-help group providing financial literacy programs in rural areas to all the women will also be categorized under CSR. Next is people, government and semi-government organizations, public sector bodies or government departments that assist in large scale CSR projects will also come. Example, let's see, a company partnering with a government agency for rural electrification projects. And last is women's organization. We all know women's groups running skill training programs for women in rural areas. So, if a question is asked in the exam, what are the specialized implementing agencies in CSR implementing projects? You have to mention all these 8 points. Number 1 is people, CBOs, community-based organizations. Number 2 is elected local bodies. Number 3 is voluntary agencies like NGO. And very similar to that point is trust and missions. And then comes academic institutions. And then comes self-help groups. And next, government and semi-government organizations. And last is women's organization. Okay, people. What I have done is, people, I have made sure the language is a little easier so that you can read, understand, learn. Along that also I have given you examples. So you will never face any problem in understanding the concepts. Okay, people. So we are done with specialized implementing agencies for CSR projects. Now, people, let's talk about evaluation of CSR projects, which means what? I've told you, people, when we are going to incur CSR expenditure, we're going to do a certain homework before we implement CSR. After incurring CSR expenditure also, we are going to do a work. Now, what are those two evaluation things, evaluation compliances we're going to understand? Very easy, people. The objective is simple. Before we are going to incur CSR expenditure, the objective is that we need to efficiently utilize the CSR amount for the society's benefit. How do we efficiently use is the question that is going to answer pre-evaluation. Post-evaluation is going to answer, did we really create an impact? Is what the post-evaluation going to answer. Okay, we're going to understand this in detail. Chalo, people, without wasting any time, let's get started. So, pre-evaluation and post-evaluation. What is the meaning of pre-evaluation? Before committing resources, companies assess whether the project aligns with CSR objectives by considering what all items, people? Nature of the project. Which type of project are we going to focus on? Number 2, what is the estimation cost that we're going to incur? And number 3 is, are we going to do by ourselves or are we going to take the help of the implementing agencies? Next is, are we going to collaborate with other companies, governments or special agencies? Then people, who are our target beneficiaries? Are they children? Are they women? Are they marginalized groups in the society? We're going to understand who are the target groups. Then people, feasibility. Do we have the required expertise? Do we have the required resources to make sure that funds are used in the best possible manner? And next is feasibility financial, which means what? Do we have the financial resources to make sure the CSR is implemented in the best possible manner? And then we're going to understand what is the implementation timeline. Is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? We have to find out. And then people, what is the impact that we are going to create, which is measurable? Okay. For example, if our goal is that children should get proper meals timely, then the impact is their weight. We are going to check their weight. Is their weight getting improved? Are they falling less sick? Then people, monitoring mechanism. How are they going to track whether the funds are used in a proper manner or not? So all these aspects we are going to consider before we incur our CSR expenditure. Very logical, people. Whenever we are going to buy anything, we are going to always consider the certain factors. All these factors are called as pre-evaluation factors. Yes or no, people? Then process is CSR committee. People, we are going to understand in accounts and audit subchapter what is the meaning of CSR committee. Okay. So CSR committee conducts the evaluation with the checklist. So basically, board it outsources their CSR related work to a committee of directors. Yes or no? And that committee of directors is called as CSR committee. Like we have audit committee, we have NRC committee, like we have risk management committee, we have stakeholder management committee. In the same way, we also have CSR committee. So they conduct evaluation with a checklist, and then external experts may prepare the feasibility reports like auditors and all. And then the committee approves the project based on the findings. Okay, first I will ask that these are the aspects I want to focus on. Now you tell me what is my cost. Now once they evaluate all the expenditure, and then I will give them thumbs up. Yes, I know every single thing that is going to happen. So my decision is yes, we can proceed forward. Yes or no, people? Very simple. Are you going to incur CS expenditure? That yes, I have calculated my net profit. Now let's incur CS expenditure 40 lakhs, give it to an agency. No, you cannot do that, people. Okay, there should be a proper evaluation criteria to make sure that your funds are used in the best possible manner. Yes or no, people? Perfect. So post evaluation. So after a CSR project is completed, companies check its real impact using clear measures. Feedback from people helped. Example, let's say if Infosys trains people in digital skills in rural areas, after the project it checks how many people learned well and they got jobs. If most trainees benefit, the project is considered as successful. Very easy, people. So basically the goal is, people, you should create impact in the society. Yes or no? So we are also done with pre-evaluation and post-evaluation. Now people, the next few topics are very, very basic. Okay, even though if you can try to learn it on your own, you can easily do it. We'll tell you which are those topics. Implementation of CSR projects. It can be done in two ways, either directly by the company or they can take help of a third-party agency like NGO, trust. Now, what are the advantages if you implement directly? You will be able to easily make quick decisions. You will not be dependent on your implementing agency. Next is you will be able to better supervise because every single thing you are handling. Number 3 is you will not be dependent on external parties for approvals. Next is coordination is reduced. Less number of people, less coordination. Less number of people, more coordination, people. Next is lower cost, savings from not hiring third party. If I hire NGOs, I have to pay them certain expenditure. Yes or no, people? So all these expenditure, all these are benefits of not having an implementing agency. Now people, let's understand what are disadvantages of handling every single thing alone. Number 1 is you will require high manpower, skilled employees are required. Number 2 is you don't have knowledge about the domain. How do you think that you can create an impact in society? Yes or no? Number 3 is you will not receive any tax benefits. In ATG, you must have understood while preparing for tax. ATG is a tax exemption that you can claim whenever you are donating. And then people, potential bias. You might be biased potentially, which means what? You might give preference to certain groups or areas because it might be your native place, it might be something else. Okay. And last is you will not be able to monitor it in the most effective way possible because you are involved in your business, you are involved in your work. How do you think you can monitor the CSR progress? It's going to be very, very difficult. I'm not saying it is impossible, it is going to be difficult. These are the disadvantages. Now people, what are the advantages of incurring CSR expenditure through an implementing agency? They have the expertise so they can manage it well. Number 2, they can better supervise because people are experts over there. Number 3 is unbiased approach. They don't have any biasness. Yes or no? Then single point of coordination. Your job is to only talk to the implementing agency's point of contact. You will not go and check over there. Next is cost negotiation. Companies can negotiate project cost. Yes or no? You have the upper hand over that. So if the implementing agency is saying that we require 100 crores to implement this, you might bargain it till 90 crores, 90 lakhs. Yes or no, people? Then what are disadvantages? Increased supervision requirement, which means what? Even though you're going to hire a third person, okay, there might be a level of negligence on the part of third party because it's not their money, it's your money that is in stake. Yes or no? Next is limited domain knowledge. Some agencies, I'm not talking about all agencies, some agencies may lack expertise in specific areas. And next is no ATG benefit, lack of tax exemption if the agency is not a registered trust. See people, if you want to claim a tax exemption under ATG, you should be a registered trust. If you are not a registered trust, how can you claim tax exemption? Next is potential bias, conflict of interest if agencies are also beneficiaries. If agencies are beneficiaries, that means what? The NGO are acting as a beneficiary. NGO are also receiving money, so they are also claiming ATG exemption. It is not allowed. And next is lack of proper accounting, risk of mismanagement of fund and diversion. Okay, they might create shell companies that money can go to hands of the politicians or the one who is actually managing the NGO. Yes or no? And last is limited monitoring. The company may find it difficult to oversee every aspect of the project. Okay, people, I can totally understand people, some disadvantages you do not agree with it, but in our model it is given, so we have to learn it. Cool people? Cholo. No problems in CSI implementation. Yeah, you might find it very, very difficult to decide which should be your actual priority of your project, CSR projects. Number 2 is financial mismatch. Limited budget may lead to incomplete projects. Number 3 is lack of management interest. Number 4, management might not be interested. If you are only interested in making money, you might your attention might never go towards society. Yes or no, people? And next is finding the right people is very, very difficult. And next is influence of internal references, favorism in selecting projects or agencies. And next is team disagreements. So all these people, you can simply read, understand, learn this. It is very, very pure theory. Like it's a OCM subject of 12th. Very easy. Okay, people? So I'm not focusing on that, but please make sure that you are reading every single thing. Okay? Now next, evaluation after expenditure. Now that you have incurred expenditure of CSR, now what? This is last topic. And then people, we are done. After spending your CSR projects, companies need to check whether the objectives behind why you have spent, why you have incurred CSR amount is achieved or not. You will do periodic assessments, regular checks to track progress. You will collect data to record the outcome of your project. Number 3, you will evaluate the progress comparing actual results to planned targets. Number 4, if you're not satisfied, you will take corrective actions, identify and resolving issues if required. And number 5 is concurrent and final assessment. Evaluation should occur during and after the project completion. It should not be a one-time assessment. It should be a complete and continuous assessment. Even during your project is implemented and after the project is implemented. Right, people? For example, for an education initiative, this may involve tracking student attendance, grade improvements, and teacher feedback. People, if you are not satisfied, if the money that is going from your pocket as CS expenditure is actually not creating an impact, what is the use of incurring the expenses, right? So for that purpose only, this has been made. Cool, people? And the last is impact assessment, very, very similar to evaluation after expenditure. Let's read this, people. Impact assessment assesses or helps to determine whether a CSR project has achieved its intended goals or not. Very easy, people. Now, what are the key aspects? Independent agencies ensures unbiased evaluation. So for that also you are going to appoint an auditor, external auditor, to find out that this was our objective. Now you check whether our objectives are achieved or not. Yes or no? Then is impact focused, measures actual benefits to a target group. That means what? You should only calculate, you should only take into consideration the actual benefit that you have caused. Yes or no? Third is post project completion. It is always conducted after the project completion. Immediately, you should not wait for 1 year, 2 years. And next is, it is whatever conclusions are arrived, it is purely based on data. Very simple, people. Let's read the example. For a clean water project, the impact assessment would evaluate health improvements in the community before and after the project. Impact assessment allow companies to refine their CSI strategies and make adjustments for future projects. Yes, people. So we are done with our 3.4 also. People, I hope you found this subchapter very easy and interesting because of the examples. Okay. If you have got any doubt, please make sure that you are contacting Inspire Academy or can simply reach out to me, people. Right, people? Chalo. Now let's look at the expected questions that might come in your exam. See, people, what are the 9 principles of NGRBC? Explain any 2 in detail. Such type of questions can be asked in exam, definitely. Next is differentiate between activities considered as CSR and those excluded under Companies Act 2013. Very simple. Then outline the steps involved in the CSR implementation process. Next, compare direct implementation versus third party implementation. You have to explain if you are implementing directly, if you are implementing through a third party. Then people, what are the challenges faced in the CSR project implementation? And then why is impact assessment critical in CSR? Explain its key aspects. You have to simply write down all the points that we have studied. That's it, people, very easy. So we can say that you can easily score full marks in corporate governance now. Let's look at the past year question paper. Was there any question? Features of corporate governance. Then this is discuss about sustainability reporting in the light for need for filing of annual business responsibility report as per SEBI guidelines and connected factors in this regard. So you can easily now write this answer, people. So this is now replaced with BRSR. So we know which companies are required to disclose their details. Top 1000 listed companies focusing on ESG. Yes or no? Social, economic and environmental impact they should cause. You can simply write it down, people. Now, people, one more last subchapter is there. Very easy. Hardly 3 concepts are there. We have already covered that in our previous subchapters, but still I want you guys to not to leave any subchapter. Okay, people? Then only you can claim an exemption. Let's focus on the next subchapter. Simple, people, simple. Sustainability management. What is the meaning of sustainability management, people? We already know it is a means of developing in such a manner that does not harm the environment, society or economy for future generation. That means what? You have to conduct yourself in such a way that future generation should not have any problem because of you. You should make sure that you are not harming the environment, which is again beneficial for the future generation. You are not harming the society, you are not harming the economy. So every single thing, so that future generations can live peacefully. Yes or no? That is called as sustainability development. You are growing in such a manner that you are not hurting anyone. Okay? Humble growth. Yes or no? A company using renewable energy and reducing waste in its manufacturing process to protect the environment while providing fair wages to workers is practicing sustainable development. So when can we say that a company is following a sustainable development? You are using renewable energy to reduce waste in its manufacturing process. You are growing, you are manufacturing, that means you are growing. You are using renewable energy, you are not harming the environment. You are using renewable energy to manage your waste or reduce your waste, to protect the environment. At the same time, you are also paying fair wages to workers. Then only we can say that you are practicing sustainable development. Okay. Now, people, there are 3 pillars of sustainable development. Let's understand those 3 pillars. So, number 1 is, people, economic approach. What is the meaning of this? A company invest in energy efficient technology to save money in the long term despite high initial cost. That means what? If I purchase EV right now, it's going to be very, very expensive for me. But in the long run, it's going to be very, very cost effective for me compared to petrol. So decision should ensure future economic growth. And number two is focus on long-term financial stability rather than short-term profit. You should not focus on short-term profit. You should focus on long-term financial stability. Very easy, people. And then comes economic and environmental approach. That means what? You have to save the planet. Now, what are you going to save the planet? A company uses biodegradable packaging instead of plastic to reduce pollution. So, conservation of natural resources like water, minerals and forest, focusing on reducing pollution, waste and carbon emission. That means what? You are also working towards an environment, yes or no? Over here, you are focusing on economics, you are focusing on over here environment and ecology. And last is social approach, which means what? Now you are focusing on the people. You are paying fair wages to the workers. You are working for the community. You are providing safe working conditions, and everyone is growing because of you. Over here, ensuring businesses do not exploit workers or harm local communities, promote fair wages, worker safety and social security. So three pillars of sustainable development, that is called as triple bottom approach. What is it called? Triple bottom approach. So three pillars of SD. What are those three pillars, people? Economic approach. Number two is ecological approach. And number three is social approach. So economics, ecology, social. Economics, environment, social. Economics, environment, social. Very easy. Economics means what? You are investing, you are incurring such a way that you are going to earn in a long term well. You are not focusing on short term making money. Number one. Number two is you are focusing on the planet. You are focusing on conservation of planet. Yes or no? And last is you are working also for the benefit of the people. You are not exploiting them. Okay. Sure, people. So first topic is done. Very simple, right? Next, what are the benefits of SD? Now that I am following SD, what are the benefits that I am going to enjoy in the long run, or what is the society going to enjoy in the long run? Let's understand this. So, how many benefits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 benefits. Reducing pollution, conserves water and protects biodiversity. That means what? Environment is obviously growing. Number two is economic growth is also there. Next is improved public health. Reduces pollution related diseases and improves community well-being. If you are polluting the environment, if you are not polluting the environment, the health of the people around you will improve. Yes or no? And because of that, people will trust your brand and your reputation will also increase drastically. And reducing waste and energy consumption results in significant savings for businesses. If I purchase EV right now, even though it might be costly for me right now, but in the long run, it's going to be very, very economically, it's going to be very, very favorable. Yes or no, people? And last is legal compliance. I will be following the environmental laws that help businesses avoid unnecessary fines and penalties. So how many points are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quickly tell me, people. Number 1 is environmental protection. Number 2 is economic growth. Number 3 is improved public health. Number 4 is brand reputation and public trust. And last is cost savings and legal compliance. Very easy, people. Extremely easy. Chalo, second topic is also over. And the last is, people, sustainable reporting. Now we have already studied this multiple times. Let's again read this. People, do you remember question was asked in the exam with respect to sustainable reporting? You have to write this answer. This is a little more in detail. Introduced in SEBI in May 21 under BRSR framework. Okay. So for which company is it mandatory? For top 1000 listed company it is mandatory. Okay. Other companies it is voluntary. Okay. Company must report their environmental, social and governance performance based on those 9 principles. Yes or no? Reports are filed in PDF and XBRL format. What is the meaning of XBRL format, people? It's a format where easily information can be understood. Okay. A very data friendly way of presenting your information. Next is purpose is to promote transparency and responsible business practices. And last is example, Infosys discloses its initiatives on renewable energy use, employee well-being and diversity programs through its BRSR report. You take the BRSR report of any top 1,000 companies, you will find out every single thing. How the company is conducting itself on the basis of those 9 principles we talk about. Yes or no, people? And the last is, it's not important, but still we'll cover this. United Nations Principle for Responsible Investment. What is this? It's a global initiative encouraging investors to consider ESG factors so that we can all make this a better world. Then has over 5,000 signatories across 80 countries, managing assets worth $128 trillion. Oh my God, such a big amount. Signatories submit to investing responsibly and reporting their ESG performance annually. That means what? It's a basically, it's a, you can call it as a, in a layman language, if I want to explain this to a 10-year-old, I can say this is a club formed to make this planet a better planet, where there are 5,000 participants. Everyone are supposed to disclose their conduct annually basis on those principles. Example is SBI Mutual Fund, ICICI Prudential Asset Management Company are UN principles for responsible investment signatories, ensuring their investments align with the sustainability and ethical principles. You will imagine if every single company are following this, don't you think the world would become such a beautiful place? Yes or no? So that is the goal in mind, and that's the reason why people we are studying corporate governance. Yes or no, people? And trust me, this ESG sector is growing rapidly. You can make a beautiful career out of it. Okay, people? In short, SEBI's BRSR ensures Indian companies disclose their ESG performance, while UN Principles for Responsible Investment promotes responsible investment globally. You are not investing in unnecessary things that is going to harm the environment, together to strengthen the corporate responsibility and investor confidence. So question can be asked in the exam. Explain the 3 pillars of, definitely this question can be asked. Mark it as star mark. Definitely. So explain the 3 pillars of sustainable development, triple bottom line approach. You have to mention economic, environmental and social. Then people, what are the benefits of sustainable management? You have to mention all these aspects. And last is, what is the BRSR report? Discuss the SEBI's reporting requirement for listed companies along with relevant global initiatives. So over here you have to write this answer completely. Same answer, you have to write it down. That's it, people. You are done with your corporate governance. So now, no matter which type of question will come in your exam, I am 100% sure that you will be able to write it beautifully. Yes or no? So people. So we are also done with corporate governance. So people, we are done with insolvency bankruptcy code that will be coming in your exam for 7 to 10 marks. Then we are also done with corporate governance. Again 7 to 10 marks. We can say that 20 marks are done. And then we have also completed with SEBI. So 30 marks. Now people, this Companies Act is a very extremely easy topics. Extremely easy. Hardly 1 or 2 pages or 1 chapter. Okay. This Companies Act is your gold mine. This Companies Act is going to carry 40 marks. Yes or no, people? So 40 marks this Companies Act is going to carry easily. You can score an exemption, corporate and economic laws. I'm going to make sure that mostly all the important chapters apart from Companies Act, SEBI, corporate governance, IBC are covered, so that there's no reason that you cannot claim an exemption in corporate and economic laws. You will be a master of corporate economic laws. Okay, people. So that's all from my side today. We will end the session today, people. So we are done with corporate governance. We understood all the 5 chapters. There are 5 subchapters, right? Yes, 5 subchapters we understood in detail using example. We also understood what are expected questions will be coming into exam. We also solved past year's question paper, people. That's it, people. What else do you need? Okay. So That's all from my side today. Thank you so much for watching. You have been an amazing audience. And until then, people, eat well, sleep well, study well. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.